Good evening and buonasera to everyone in this webinar that Comestai and Animenta organized. Thank you, the International Consortium for Eating Disorder, that is represented by Professor Gemma Sharp, that I met always online between Italy and Australia, I think last year, and we start to work together for prevention and information about eating disorder. What we want to do this evening is to discuss together with the clinician of Comestai the research experience with the International Consortium for Eating Disorder, and also with a journalist that is Francesco Marino, the use of digital therapy in eating disorder treatment. This is an international webinar, so we have both people between Italy and around the world. We have Korea, Italy, Australia, and a lot of part of the world. So thanks a lot for joining us. So the webinar will be between Italian and English if you are okay. And if you need the translation, no problem. You can write this on chat, and I'll translate between Italian and English, and between English and Italian. No problem about this. And thanks a lot to join us. I need to present myself. I am Aurora, and I'm the founder of Animenta and Comestai. So I share the screen. Let me know if you can see my screen now. Super. You see the screen? Let me know because I'm not able to see your face.
We can see Aurora. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So the topic of the webinar is how digital therapy is transforming eating disorder care. In May 2025, born Comestai. Comestai is an innovative healthcare startup that want to make more accessible the treatment for eating disorder care. We do this with digital therapy. We start to study also the AI use in eating disorder treatment, talking directly with Gemma Sharp, and the project that they are doing in Monash University, and also with the International Consortium for Research in Eating Disorder. I want to share with you this slide and this question, ovvero how online therapy can help with eating disorders. One of the main problems that we have in Italy, but I think also in Australia, and maybe after this slide, Gemma, you can introduce the work that you are doing in eating disorder with Monash University. And this is a problem that we have also all over the world, is that a lot of people that suffer from an eating disorders are not able to access to the treatment. This is data that start from a research by 2017 that say to us that the 45% of people that suffer from an eating disorder all over the world are not able to access to treatment. So if from another one side we start to talk more about eating disorders, we do a lot of campaign about that. A lot of people in Italy, in Europe, in USA, in Australia are not able to receive treatment. This also happened because for the different barrier that we have, not only for the clinical barrier and for the difficult to find an equip and a doctor that really know the eating disorder treatment, but also because a lot of people maybe also now are not able to answer to the question, what is an eating disorder? And I don't know what, Gemma, is your feedback from Australia and from the experience that you have about this.
I'm happy to jump in, Aurora. Yes, I think it's only 1 in 3 in Australia who seek treatment. So it sounds like it's even lower in Australia than other places.
Yeah, and for your experience, what is the more advantage about the digital therapy and also the AI use?
Yeah, I think as I'm sure we'll chat more about, accessibility and also reducing stigma. I think people with eating disorders are often very concerned about coming forward for treatment, and so not having to face someone face to face can be very helpful.
Yeah, of course, this is one of the points. So the accessibility and the decrease of stigma and of shame that we see in Comestai with our equipe. And here we have also Dr. Valeria Ventura and Dr. Elisabetta Abate that are one psychologist and the other one nutritionist about the equipe in Comestai. And maybe I just want to ask to them what are their experience in Comestai as digital clinical for eating disorder treatment? And also maybe I just want to start with Valeria because Valeria prepared for this evening a clinical study with a patient that we have in Comestai. So if you're okay, we will switch in Italian. And for the people that talk only in English, I can translate what Valeria would said. If you're okay, maybe you can write this on chat. Let me know so I can. Ok. Valeria, se vuoi puoi andare tu.
Sì, buonasera a tutti. Non riuscivo a trovare la chat, quindi non riuscivo a risponderti. Perdonami, Aurora. Allora,
Nessun
parto
problema.
subito con il caso clinico.
Sì, sì, sì.
Ok, innanzitutto grazie per essere qui, grazie per l'opportunità, insomma, di riuscire a parlare in italiano. Per me mi sento molto più comoda. Vi ringrazio, io sono Valeria Ventura, sono una psicologa e lavoro maggiormente online e quindi con Come Stai, insomma, affrontiamo questo percorso insieme. E volevo portarvi oggi la storia di Emma, ovviamente è un nome inventato per tutelare la privacy. Emma ha 46 anni ed è arrivata da noi circa un anno fa con un bagaglio di vergogna e di paure molto intense, paure legate non solo alla problematica, quindi al cambiamento in sé, e anche a quella che in molti pazienti con disturbi alimentari definiamo paura di guarire, no? Quindi quel timore profondo di perdere una parte identitaria, di non sapere più chi si è senza il sintomo. Quindi Emma arriva con questo, ma accanto a questo Emma portava anche la fatica di esperienze passate in altri contesti clinici, esperienze non piacevoli, esperienze che non si erano rivelate sufficientemente accoglienti per lei. Durante le prime sedute online, Emma era completamente bloccata. Con completamente bloccata intendo zitta. Emma non parlava, restava in silenzio a lungo, con uno sguardo sempre molto basso oppure fisso sullo schermo e rispondeva davvero a monosillabi. Infatti, diciamo, il primo approccio con lei è stato fargli appunto delle domande molto brevi alla quale lei poteva soltanto rispondermi o sì o no. Era evidente che il solo trovarsi davanti a un'altra persona, anche se attraverso uno schermo, la esponeva a un forte disagio. Lei aveva avuto, appunto, ripeto, un'esperienza molto negativa anche proprio a livello di terapia in generale, ok? La modalità online però con lei ha avuto un ruolo fondamentale, quindi la possibilità di collegarsi da casa, nel suo spazio, con gli oggetti e l'ambiente familiare intorno, le ha permesso gradualmente di tollerare, poi andando avanti nelle sedute abbiamo capito che la difficoltà era proprio quella, di tollerare la vicinanza emotiva da parte di un'altra persona, in questo caso da parte di un'altra professionista sanitaria, senza sentirsi sopraffatta. E quindi all'inizio le nostre sedute sono state fatte di lunghi silenzi che ho scelto di non forzare proprio perché anche quelli sono uno strumento terapeutico. Poi Emma ha iniziato ad interagire e ho iniziato a conoscerla e a conoscere il suo mondo oltre la malattia. E questa è una cosa fondamentale e soprattutto lei mi ci ha fatto entrare nel suo mondo e da lì abbiamo cominciato a costruire la relazione terapeutica, una relazione di fiducia. Perché vi porto questa testimonianza, insomma, questo caso clinico che ancora oggi seguo, ancora oggi portiamo avanti e che insomma è andato avanti in maniera totalmente diversa e proficua e positiva. E vi porto questo caso proprio perché è il caso che mi ha colpito particolarmente e con la quale l'online è stato la chiave, perché appunto l'accessibilità alle cure che offre l'online non è soltanto un'accessibilità a livello geografico, perché chiaramente è più facile riuscire a trovare ad essere trattati da appunto specialisti del settore che magari a livello geografico vicino non ci sono. Però c'è proprio un'accessibilità emotiva che va oltre quindi la vergogna e l'ansia sociale che molti pazienti che soffrono di questo disturbo hanno. Ci possono essere giornate in cui il corpo, lo sguardo degli altri o la fatica psicologica rendono proprio difficile spostarsi. E quindi per lei c'è stata un po', è stata proprio questa la chiave, la terapia online. Quindi questo, e mi sento anche proprio di portare ecco, un feedback anche a livello professionale e per cui proprio si è visto quanto a prescindere da uno schermo non è tanto, cioè la presenza terapeutica non dipende dalla distanza fisica, dalla distanza che ci può essere attraverso uno schermo, ma dalla qualità dell'ascolto attivo, dalla qualità della relazione e dalla qualità dell'intenzionalità relazionale proprio. Ed è chiaro che poi è importantissimo per gli psicologi curare questo aspetto professionale, quindi riuscire ad entrare in relazione terapeutica anche in questi casi e può essere un luogo vivo, reale, trasformativo se c'è un ascolto autentico rispetto ai tempi del paziente e se c'è appunto fiducia nel processo ed è chiaro che quindi è opportuno anche sviluppare nuove competenze, imparare a leggere il silenzio attraverso uno schermo, imparare a riconoscere anche proprio il disagio e anche senza la presenza fisica e imparare proprio a regolare i tempi e i ritmi della seduta online in maniera diversa. E quindi la tecnologia diventa soltanto uno strumento in più, ma quello che resta centrale è la capacità di essere presenti in modo autentico durante le sedute. Ecco,
Grazie, Valeria. Thank you so much.
grazie a
Thank you
voi.
so much, Valeria. Maybe, Gemma, just to summarize, if you agree what Valeria said, I can make a English translation after that. What do you think?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, for people in English, what Valeria said, she talked about Emma, that is not a real name, that is a patient that we have in Comestai. In the first meeting, Emma was very silent. She didn't talk. She just answered to the question that Valeria showed to her with only yes or no. For her was really difficult to ask for help and also to start a treatment. She was really inside the eating disorder. And what Valeria see in online therapy was not also more access, more simple access to the treatment because online give us to these people to this opportunity, but also the online treatment give to us the opportunity for the people to stay maybe in the comfort of their home, to be able to ask for help just maybe to complete a questionnaire and ask for help, and maybe the day after start a therapy. So with Emma, Comestai was able to start a therapy with her in the exactly moment when they need to start the therapy, without she need to move outside home, because she was really fear of the other people maybe in the same room. So the difference between digital and in person, and for the things that we see in Comestai, but also for evidence, for scientific evidence that we have around the world, is not for the quality of the treatment that we have, because sometimes it's really the same, and the quality of the treatment depends also on the therapeutical relationship that we need to do with the patient and with the doctor. And if we have a good relationship between us and the doctor, the psychologist, the psychiatric, the dietitian, you can use a computer and, or maybe you can use an offline presence, but the therapy needs to do the quality for the relationship that I can build and the trust we can build together. This is one of the plus that online therapy can give to the eating disorder treatment, also because in Comestai we work in a multidisciplinary keep. So we have all of the figure that we need to use for the eating disorder treatment. And maybe here I think that could be really useful both for English but for Italian people, maybe to know what CORID do, also for the digital tools and the digital aspect that you are doing in also in Australia, and maybe also with us like this webinar.
Thanks so much, Aurora. Do you mind if I share my slide deck?
Yeah.
Thank you. What, I think you might need to stop sharing.
Okay. You can go now.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. And just like Aurora asked, everyone can see that okay? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Greetings from Melbourne. Very early morning here, and I've been loving this webinar so far, and I'm really excited for the rest. I'm very excited to be representing CORID, and I just wanted to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we all find ourselves here today, all around the world. I can see there's people joining us from everywhere, which is super exciting. So really quickly, CORID, we try to bring everyone together. We think we're a world first initiative that brings together researchers, clinicians, people who have a past or current experience of an eating disorder or might be supporting someone with an eating disorder, as well as advocates, not-for-profit and industry representatives. And our very lofty goal is to promote innovations in eating disorders research by empowering all voices and ultimately creating new therapies, including digital, as we're talking about today. We're very excited that we have almost 1,000 registrants in CORID from 35 countries and 5 continents, and 29 partners. I'm hoping we make it over 30 before the end of 2025. And I really thank Aurora and Animenta and Comestai for being some of our very earliest partners. It's been wonderful to have them on board for so long. And in terms of who our specific tech partners are, so we have Microsoft, EMIC, the eMental Health International Collaborative, and Recovery Record by Bright as our tech partners currently. You've possibly heard of Recovery Record before. It's basically I suppose maybe the most famous eating disorder app around the world. In terms of what we do from a tech perspective in CORID, so we have our online portal where everyone can connect all around the world. We have our news space. There's also one-to-one messaging and a notice board where everyone can post. Of course, we're always looking to upgrade our portal. It's still on the simpler side, but people seem to be enjoying it and connecting with each other well. And in terms of, I suppose, what we've been promoting in terms of tech, we ran our very first Next Big Research Idea research pitch competition earlier this year, and very excited that Team Globalized were our winners, and we will be helping them to fundraise for their idea over the next sort of 6 to 8 months, really. So you'll be hearing a lot more about them. And what they're forming is a really big global data dashboard where people from around the world can submit their eating disorder data, and we can better analyze it using AI methods to, I suppose, make better predictions, understand eating disorders better, and make better decisions and policies around eating disorders. So the pilot is being built currently, which is super exciting, and you'll be seeing that in the next few months. So we're very excited that this is coming up for us, and look forward to Italy's contributions to the global data dashboard. You can join us for free at Core ET. That's the most exciting part. Just scan the QR code there, and it'll take you about 1 minute to fill in the form, and then you can join our community. I'll make sure I pop all the links from what I'm presenting in the chat in case you can't scan the QR code. And I just wanted to do some more screen shares, if that's okay, because I know Aurora really wants us to talk about some of our AI chatbot work that we've been doing in eating disorders. So I'm going to show our very first chatbot, and hopefully this is coming up for you soon. You folks seeing a sort of purple character? Hopefully, called Gem. Gem was our very first chatbot, and we developed, it was originally called Kit, I should say. So Kit was born in about 2020. So that's ages ago in tech time, isn't it? And Kit/Gem is, I suppose, more of a basic eating disorder information chatbot. And Gem's been living in Australia for 5 years and has recently traveled to North America, Canada specifically. And I'm showing you the Canadian deployment here. I'm not sure if I click on that. Can you see something pop up in the bottom corner?
Yeah, we can see.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. So basically, in terms of the Canadian deployment, so NEDIC is kind of like their international, I should say, their national charity. So people will come here for helpline support. So say when the helpline's not on, people can use the chatbot, but they can also use the chatbot when the helpline service is available, like it is currently. And we found that people have been quite enjoying the chatbot because it's got a lot of information in there. It can have a lot of educational conversations, and also have or teach people skills as well if they're feeling distressed in the moment. So this is available 24/7. We've literally had hundreds of thousands of users around the world for Gem in the last few years, and proud to say it's gone very well in Australia and Canada, and hopefully further places around the world too. But this deployment was, I suppose, specifically for supporting helplines. So people might not even be ready to seek treatment yet. They're just getting information. I'm hoping I'm going to switch screens now. Are you seeing an orange character now?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, we can see
Oh,
the orange
cool.
character.
Thank you. Okay, so this is EDSE, and EDSE is not publicly available. You have to be connected with a clinic. So these are people who are about to seek treatment and they're waiting to start. And so EDSE provides them with a 30-minute session to help them understand their eating disorder symptoms better and start some goal setting before they even have their first session with a dietitian, psychologist, doctor, whoever they're going to see first up. So EDSE has been running in Australia. Our clinical trial started a few years ago, but as an actual, I suppose, broader product or service, it's only been this year. So EDSE is quite young, but we're very excited that EDSE has, I suppose, greater capabilities than GEM, and it's a bit more of a personalised service, and people get a printout of their session, and that goes to their clinician, so their clinician knows what they've spoken about with SE, and has I suppose, a really good head start before they've even seen this patient for the first time. So that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of GEM and EDSE. We do have plenty more, plenty more in development that I'm not talking about, and you're welcome to ask questions about those. But GEM and EDSE, so prevention and early intervention uses of AI in eating disorders there. So that's it from me, Aurora, but I'm very happy to answer questions on what I've just said, and happy for you to translate that into Italian as you see fit.
Yeah, of course. If
Thank
we
you.
have some question for the use of GEM or EDS for Gemma, you can maybe put here in Italian and I can translate. And I don't know if Italian people have understand what Gemma said. And if you need some translation, please let me know. There is no problem to translate in Italian what Gemma said. Just write it in chat. No problem. Feel no shame to not know English. There is no problem. Oh, they say that it's tutto chiarissimo. This means that all is clear. So super, and thanks Martina for the for writing. Maybe Gemma, if you're okay, we can go further with Elisabetta and Francesco, and with Francesco we can come back about the AI and start maybe a discussion about the use of AI in eating disorder. So I start maybe with Elisabetta, and after we come back on deep dive about AI, if it's okay with you. Okay. I come back to share my screen. So we talk about how the AI, but especially digital therapy, can help people for the treatment about eating disorder. And maybe one of the most famous question that we receive in Comestai is how do virtual programs, virtual treatment can check medical safety? Because we know that eating disorder are psychiatric illnesses, but also they have an impact on our body. So we need to work online, but we also need to have the capability to understand if we are able to take care of the patient, or maybe if we need to bring that patient or that family in another service, maybe off-site. We do a screening inside Comestai to understand the gravity of the situation about the eating disorder. But Comestai born from Animenta experience, so we are able to also do a hybrid model. We are trying to build this where digital therapy meet in-person therapy, and in-person start for all the people or the family, and also especially for young people, for babies that have an eating disorder and maybe need to work in presence. And maybe here I would like to listen our dietitian, that is Dr. Elisabetta Abate, just maybe to talk about not only the screening that we do in Comestai as digital services, but also how we do nutritional pathways in eating disorder treatment. If you want to talk in Italian, no problem. I can translate after in English.
Okay, I can talk in Italian if there is no problem. Okay.
No, I think no problem.
Ok. Buonasera a tutti e grazie insomma per essere qui, grazie ad Aurora e Gemma anche per l'opportunità. Io sono la dottoressa Lucia Elisabetta Abate, una dietista specializzata nel trattamento dei disturbi alimentari in età adulta ed evolutiva. Diciamo che spesso, un po' come accennava anche Aurora, la figura del nutrizionista, del dietista, quando si tratta, no, di anche in generale del trattamento di disturbi alimentari, ma soprattutto anche quando si parla di quello che può essere un percorso online, può generare ecco, un po' qualche dubbio, qualche perplessità. Ecco, qui ci tenevo insomma a rimarcare, rimandare, ci tenevamo un pochino quella che appunto può essere l'importanza, anzi, del trattamento riabilitativo nutrizionale online, quando ci troviamo di fronte a una persona che soffre di un disturbo o disordine alimentare. Prima diciamo di andare in quello che è anche un po' l'importanza del lavoro in equip, che ci tenevo molto a sottolineare, soprattutto per i primi screening che facciamo in Comestai, ci tenevo a riportarvi l'esperienza di una paziente che seguiamo in Comestai da aprile di quest'anno. Userò un nome insomma non reale, quindi la chiameremo Elena. Elena è una paziente di 53 anni che soffre di night eating syndrome. Elena soffre, diciamo, è affetta da night eating syndrome da tantissimi anni, è una paziente che ha un passato molto, molto complesso, molto articolato, legato a traumi, violenze, che quindi hanno portato comunque come conseguenza questo rapporto conflittuale poi con il cibo e quindi questa perdita di controllo che si attiva soprattutto nella fase notturna. Elena arriva con una forte, diciamo, repulsione, chiamiamola anche così, anche nei confronti di quella che è la figura del nutrizionista. Viene comunque da un passato di diete, quindi approcci prescrittivi, quindi tutto ciò, diciamo, che esula invece poi da quello che è un effettivo percorso di riabilitazione nutrizionale. E lei stessa, dopo, ricordo bene questa cosa, dopo 5-6 incontri che svolgiamo online, ci ringrazia perché dice molto probabilmente se fossi stata in presenza non avrei neanche creduto in questa tipologia, insomma, di approccio, di percorso. Quindi il percorso online insieme in un primo step le è stato molto utile anche per affidarsi e un po' come diceva, insomma, anche prima Valeria, ma anche Aurora, è stata fondamentale sicuramente innescare da subito quella che è una buona alleanza terapeutica, anche dal punto di vista nutrizionale e riabilitativo nutrizionale. E riagganciandomi proprio a questo, poi andando avanti nel percorso, diciamo un altro aspetto molto rilevante, sempre nel percorso di Elena, che aveva una forte difficoltà nell'affrontare poi quelli che erano durante il giorno i momenti dei pasti, ma anche nello stare a contatto con altri al momento dei pasti. Diciamo, poi era una delle varie correlazioni che portava poi a questa iperalimentazione notturna. È stato fondamentale per noi poi svolgere quello che era il pasto assistito, che è una delle strategie, una delle tecniche che si usa durante i percorsi di riabilitazione nutrizionale proprio online. La stessa Elena, quando ci avviamo nel penultimo mese ad affrontare, diciamo, proprio questo momento così delicato, così particolare del percorso riabilitativo, rimanda proprio che averlo fatto online, aver condiviso quel momento online è stato per lei salvifico, proprio alla luce di quella forte difficoltà che c'era, di quella forte difficoltà che c'era nello stare anche accanto all'altro. Si è sentita comunque rassicurata, accolta. Siamo riusciti anche a distanza a creare quello che era un suo spazio sicuro, un suo momento di sicurezza in un momento così, così delicato e così particolare. Infatti, una delle cose proprio legata anche a questo che io stessa da professionista ho notato è proprio anche quella semplicità nell'abbattere quella che può essere la barriera, come uno schermo, cose di questo tipo, soprattutto quando dobbiamo affrontare momenti così delicati. Quindi come può essere la parte iniziale del training di familiarizzazione con il cibo per affrontare quelli che possono essere i cosiddetti fear food, ma anche proprio il momento del pasto assistito, cioè svolgere il momento del pasto assistito online, avendo diciamo anche poi il confronto con quello che avviene anche in presenza a livello ambulatoriale, ha reso tutto molto più semplice. Cioè, alcune tipologie di pazienti hanno veramente giovato di questo aspetto, di questa cosa, si sono sentiti accolti e siamo riusciti a ricreare uno spazio ridonando proprio quella importanza al momento del pasto, il giusto tempo, il giusto spazio e siamo riusciti a farlo a prescindere, diciamo, da quella che poteva essere, tra virgolette, una distanza fisica, perché in realtà si era creata un'alleanza terapeutica importante, una connessione importante anche tra il professionista e il paziente che ha permesso e concesso di ricreare tutto questo.
Grazie Elisabetta. Vai, vai pure, finisci.
Sì, si volevo aggiungere sì, soltanto poi un'ultima cosa, proprio appunto ricollegata a quello che dicevamo all'inizio, sì, dell'importanza dello screening e quindi del lavoro in equip. Diciamo, una delle cose che poi sempre da professionista ho ritrovato in Come Stai e per cui ringrazio ad oggi fortemente Come Stai è proprio il lavoro in equip, perché quando si affronta comunque, cioè si lavora con pazienti che hanno un disturbo, un disordine alimentare, è importante creare e costruire una rete intorno al paziente, una rete che si riesce a costruire appunto unicamente con un lavoro in equip ben strutturato. Per fortuna, insomma, in Come Stai abbiamo un'equipe strutturata di medici, nutrizionisti, psicologi, psicoterapeuti che consente appunto anche questo di creare quello spazio sicuro sempre nei confronti dei pazienti. Quello che ci rimandano comunque i pazienti è sempre anche questo, loro si sentono accolti, si sentono che hanno intorno una rete di supporto che è pronta a supportare loro, ma pronta a supportare anche tutti quelli che possono essere le famiglie o i caregiver che accompagnano appunto la persona, anche perché poi ci tengo a sottolinearlo, anche se era stato annunciato già prima, comunque il disturbo alimentare anche da professionista non si gestisce da solo. Cioè, è importante quindi andare a creare una rete, collaborare con i professionisti e fare in modo che appunto sotto tutti gli ambiti, sotto punti di vista, la persona riesca per la propria salute comunque a ricevere quello che è un giusto supporto. Grazie.
Grazie mille, Elisabetta. Thank you so much. I do the English translation, Gemma, so you have a more clear vision about what Elisabetta said. To sum up, Elisabetta talked about Elena. That isn't a real name. Elena is a patient in Comestai, and she suffered of night eating syndrome. It is one of the most common eating disorder that we have in Italy, but also in other countries, and we don't often talk about the night eating syndrome. She make a great difficulty asking for help, and also during her everyday, she make great difficulty also of staying with people during meals. And this also was the main problem about the hair syndrome. So she wasn't able to eat during the day with other people during lunch, maybe at work or during the night, and so she eat in the evening when she was alone. She do with us a nutritional pathway with Elisabetta, and one of the things that Elena said to Elisabetta on this online treatment, she said that if she had been there in person, she wouldn't even started this kind of treatment. Also, they do assisted meals, so they eat together during the treatment. Assisted meal is one of the protocol that we use not only in Comestai but also in Italy, and I think in USA, but also in Australia, is really used to give the people and the patient a new kind of relationship with food, so you can share with your patient the meal that you try to eat, also to decrease the fear food that a lot of people with an eating disorder have. And online assisted meal was really helpful for Elena to make a next step in her eating disorder recovery process, because first she wasn't able to eat with other people. And what also Elisabetta said was also what Valeria said before, so that what is really important in the digital treatment is the relationship between you and the doctor, and also the multidisciplinary work that we do in Comestai. So the fact is that even if you are a digital treatment, when you enter in Comestai or also in different equipe that we have all around the world, in different startups that are trying to do the same of Comestai, you have a complete equipe about eating disorder that is focused on the treatment of this kind of diagnosis, and this also help clinicians to work together in simplify the interaction between different doctors that work on only one people that have this kind of a diagnosis. And this also is really helpful for the patient that in one place have all of the clinician that they need. So thanks a lot for this feedback. I just want to go to this slide that is a comparison between virtual treatment and in-person treatment. Obviously, one of the main point is the accessibility. Virtual treatment can be available for anyone with an interconnection. One of the biggest problems that we have in Italy is that Italy is really divided in north and south, also for the eating disorder treatment. So if you have the fortune to born in a country, in a city that have an eating disorder center, you are okay, you can access to the treatment. If not, now you are not able to access to the treatment. And one of also the point that is really important for me is the time required. With Comestai, we trying to bring in your house, in your home, the treatment that you deserve and that you need, so you can put your therapy inside your daily life. And often when you have an eating disorder, you are not able to do that. And also the online is really helpful for family participation, so you can involve also your family. This also happen with students that maybe live abroad to study or for work, and with online we can bring together all of the family. And after that, you can see also different point of positive pathway about virtual treatment, like hands-on vitals, because you can coordinate our equipe with different medical providers in person that can help us to bring how the body of our patient is going. Our real world meal support, as Elisabetta said before, but also for the scheduling with an online therapist and an online digital treatment for eating disorder. You have more option, and it is also more easier to start a therapy, as we also see from our patient. And also maybe the privacy can be a little challenge, but for example, on the blog of Comestai, we write an article about how you can prepare yourself for an online eating disorder treatment. So if you are a clinician, you maybe can help your patient to prepare themselves to start a treatment. And also the cost of an online therapy is less expensive than an in-person treatment, and all of us know about this. So in this part, we do a deep dive about the digital therapy. We do with Valeria and Elisabetta a clinical view also about the impact of the digital treatment. With Gemma, also we talk about the use of AI, so the impact of AI in eating disorder treatment. And here there is Francesco Marino, that is also a friend and also a journalist that talk always on his Instagram channel, and I invite you to follow him about the digital impact in different area. And we discuss sometimes about the use of AI in mental health. So thanks a lot, Francesco, to be with us, and I leave to you your time to talk about this, and feel free to talk in English or Italian.
Okay, I'll go with English if it's fine for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, and thanks to Aurora and Professor Sharp. Okay, what I want to talk about is general purpose AI and mental health, because there's a huge difference, a huge leap in what we can call general purpose AI, which is basically ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, Claude or whatever is the commercial side, we might say, of chatbots based on artificial intelligence. Because again, there's a huge leap and a huge difference between general purpose AI and dedicated AI, just like the one we have seen before, for a number of different reasons. Of course, the first reason is because they have different goals, and so what ChatGPT wants, OpenAI or Google or whatever want is basically to keep you inside the platform and make you use it more and more and more and more, whatever the reason might be. And in other cases, in dedicated chatbot for mental health, the goal is actually to help people without making money, hopefully. And there's a huge difference even in training data. When it comes to general purpose chatbots, you have a huge amount of data that are fed inside the machine in order to make this machine able to talk on a different kind of topics. And this make, of course, the machine able to talk about a different kind of topic, but makes even the machine able to say fake news and bad things and whatever. It kind of get trained on anything. And when it comes to dedicated chatbots, you have a training which is dedicated to mental health, to eating disorder, or whatever. So again, there's a huge difference. Of course, a lot of things that have been said when it comes to digital therapy, I think they are true even for chatbots. And again, I will be talking about general purpose chatbots, most of all, because it's news, and I'm a journalist, as Aurora was saying, and what we know as news is that ChatGPT, Gemini, and LLMs in general are very, very used when it comes to counseling for mental health or whatever. There are official data from OpenAI that arrived this week, I think, or last week, and OpenAI estimated that 0.07% of active users of ChatGPT, which is something like 560,000 people, show possible signs of psychosis or mania in their chats, and 0.15%, which is 1.2 million of people, have conversation with explicit indicators of suicidal planning or intent. And another 0.15% of users appear to prioritize the chatbot over family, school, or work. So a lot of people turn to chatbots for not just to draft emails or whatever we use chatbot for, but for support, different kinds of support. It might be a loneliness support. A lot of reports around show that people who engaged in long conversation with chatbots might be lonely people who are just looking for connection. And but even for support in a crisis, for mental health issues, sometimes, just like we did with Google, we turn to chatbots even when we have some mild health issue. And sometimes with Google we were very scared. ChatGPT is a little bit more optimistic. And what's the point here? A lot of people turn to ChatGPT and to chatbots in general for support, and the reasons are kind of the same, I think. For the same, that people feel more comfortable with digital therapy because there's a lot of intimacy when it comes to chatbots, no judgment at all. The opposite, actually. Chatbots are very supportive, are sycophant. They always tell that you are great, that everything is fine, that you will be okay, and you're such a great human being, and things like that. And so what happens? That when I am in crisis and I turn to a chatbot, to a general purpose chatbot, that basically only wants me to feel comfortable with keep chatting, basically. This might end quite bad. There's a term which is getting pretty common in the news in the US, which is called AI psychosis or ChatGPT psychosis, which is basically an umbrella term that collects a number of different cases of people who kind of got into a bad spiral because of their relationship with the chatbot. There have been cases of suicide. There's a recent case, very sad, from a guy which was something like 23 or something, which committed suicide in a parking lot, and his last words were for ChatGPT, and ChatGPT kind of told him to, yeah, very, very good, let's do that, rest in peace. And so the point here is that digital therapies and chatbots might be very useful and can be very useful for mental health, to help actually people when they're having a crisis, to help lonely people even to feel a connection. But there's a huge difference. There's a number of chatbots which are sadly the most used actually, that have different goals, that have the goals of maximizing the time spent in the platform. And these chatbots, for this reason, because they only want you to keep chatting, they tend to confirm bias, to please you in a way, even when it might be dangerous for you. And this might be very dangerous again, but we have to always keep in mind that it's not the chatbots themselves, but it's how the chatbots are designed and what are their goals. So what I wanted to highlight during this presentation is that it's easy to demonize chatbots, AI, and stuff like that. And I get it. I totally get it. But chatbots, AI are a technology. And it's really there's really a big difference in who uses a technology and why. And when we use ChatGPT and AI as synonyms, of course, it will be bad, because we tend to imagine that AI is just ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is a specific kind of AI which has a specific goals, which is to serve the interest of a company that has the goal of making money and avoid PR messes, because they seem to be very concerned about what's happening. But if you optimize a chatbot just to keep people there, it's hard to stop it from doing bad things. So I think that what we need here is to acknowledge that there's a huge number of people that will find in a chatbot, in a general purpose chatbot, the first subject to confront with in a crisis or during a mental health. But we have to, just like Corey is doing, and just like Comestai is doing, be able to be in the middle of the process. And that's why I think proposing digital therapies and AI is so important, because you can't let the monopoly of that in the hands of OpenAI, of Google, and whatever, because they will not work in the best interest of patients and of victims. So that said, I'm very glad to be to have participated in this meeting, and that is what I wanted to leave you with. ChatGPT is something we need to work on, but without leaving behind how useful can actually be chatbots and digital therapies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francesco. Really a lot. And I think also I can talk for me, for all the team in Comestai, but also for Gemma, that I see the presentations you always do. Like me, yes, you agree. So thanks a lot for this. I think that what in Comestai, but also the EC chatbot and Gemma trying to do is also this. So to create a kind of bridge between general AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, and a vertical AI that we can use in different sector, because the things that we need other people know is how we training AI, as you said. So the data that we use to train that AI that is able to answer to question, but also that is created maybe to interrupt the conversation when you put something that can be dangerous for yourself and for your mental health. This maybe ChatGPT is not able to do. One of the things that I can see is that with the Sora, that is the kind of ChatGPT to create image, if you put the name eating disorder or disturbo alimentare in Italian, she or he, I don't know which is the best pronoun to use, but Sora cannot create that image for you. So
Yeah.
I see, as you said, that they are really concerned about this, but it's like Meta. So Meta know that there is a lot of content that are not helpful for people with eating disorder or with body dissatisfaction, but a lot of people that have an eating disorder always see on their Instagram feed that kind of content. And I think that is really the same for the AI tools.
Yeah.
So I really hope, and this is why I really want with Gemma and with Cora this webinar to educate people about how AI work and how we can use technology to help us in different sector. We cannot use ChatGPT for eating disorder or for mental health. It is not possible because it's built for another goal, for another topic. Maybe a lot of people don't know about this.
Yes, I think that education is key when it comes to AI, when it comes to digital technologies, because education and an offer of different tools that allow people to have this same kind of intimacy, of privacy, of comfort, and whatever ChatGPT might offer, but that are validated, that have specific goals, that are vertical, that are safe, and that have different incentives, most of all, because just like Meta, you can't project a tool to do something, and then when it does something that really is in their goal, but in a specific topic, tell them not to do that, because that's the point. Because just like algorithms on TikTok or Meta or Instagram, even OpenAI is the same. It's a tool that is projected, is an artificial intelligence that is projected to keep you there. Now, a lot of people are attracted to things that might be bad for them. Every one of us is attracted to things that might be bad for us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be eating disorder, mental health, or whatever. And it's very hard, and it's been kind of demonstrated in this year that it's very hard to stop an artificial intelligence just because you say not to do images on eating disorder, because of course they ban top terms like eating disorders, but you will always find a way
Yeah, as TikTok.
to make that happen.
As
Just
TikTok,
like
it's the
TikTok.
same things,
Yeah.
it's the same
Yeah.
functional. Thanks a lot. Gemma, I don't know if you want to add some information or maybe your point of view.
Thank you so much, Francesco, and everyone. It's been such an amazing webinar, and I'm really looking forward to the Q&A. Francesco, I agree that ChatGPT is so sycophantic and complimentary, and I suppose we've had to sort of be a little bit that way with our own chatbots that need to be very positive and validating to keep the conversation going. And I remember when ChatGPT 5 first came out, they tried to sort of make it a little bit more real, and everyone complained. And so I'm wondering, like, if we can make those tonal changes and still keep engagement. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Actually, yeah, I think they went a little too far with it. Actually, ChatGPT 5, I don't know if you use it, if anyone in the room use it, is kind of distant and quite bad to talk with. And there was a kind of a mass protest, if you remember that, and they had to like put 4.0 back, which was the previous version. Again, news today, they are rolling a 5.1 version, which is basically a more nicer, we can say, version of GPT-5. I think there might be a balance with this. They will even allow users to select the kind of personality they want to chat with. If you can use a more cynical, more professional, more nice, more friendly, or whatever. And yeah, of course, when you optimize for engagement, which is just like social media works, it's quite hard to manage the effects of optimizing for engagement. And I think that's the main problem, that these companies work on something that make you want to do something. And this can make things better, because if you use a social media which has a chronological feed, it's very boring, and so you stop using that social media in a little time. And so it's better for us and for social media to have an algorithmic feed, but that might end quite bad in a number of different cases. So yeah, there might be a balance, but we always have to be quite careful when we interact with these kind of tools, because they have a specific goal.
Super. Thanks so much, Francesco. Thanks a lot for your point of view about this topic. Just to close, I think that AI, as a previous years ago, blockchain or all of the technology that create a change in our behavior, will not save us from the world, from the problem that we have, but they can simplify or change maybe the narrative about different sector, from mental health to legal to all of the things that we work together, but we need to have people, human, that are able to work with that kind of technology. So thanks a lot for this moment to educate also ourselves as person, as profession, to use AI and to better understand what we can do. Thanks a lot for this moment.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't know if there are some questions, or maybe if not, we are on time, just 6 minutes later, the moment that we...
That's I'm happy to jump in with some questions,
Of
Aurora
course.
and everyone, if that's okay. And feel free, folks, to add to the chat. I wanted to ask Elisabetta about any challenges with meal support online, because I've definitely done that with my own patients. And sometimes it's gone really well, but sometimes it's been a bit more of a challenge. And I just wondered what your experiences were.
La cosa che ha chiesto Gemma è le challenge, le difficoltà avute nel post online, perché molto spesso le fa anche lei con i suoi pazienti e quindi se ci sono delle cose magari più difficili da gestire. I will do the translation between you and Gemma, no problem.
Ok, no, diciamo che la difficoltà maggiore che si può riscontrare, che comunque avverte il paziente, è proprio quello di riuscire a mangiare con qualcun altro, no? Un po' per quello avevo portato anche il caso, l'esempio di Elena, perché una delle difficoltà maggiori è proprio quello di condividere il pasto con qualcun altro. Quindi, cosa che spesso infatti in presenza è un processo che si avvia dopo un po' di più tempo, proprio perché comunque c'è questa proprio difficoltà del contatto con l'altro, cosa che attraverso l'online abbiamo visto si riesce ad arginare maggiormente, quindi si riesce a facilitare un po' di più il processo. Proprio perché riusciamo, cioè si riesce a ricreare quell'ambiente sicuro, la persona si trova anche all'interno di uno spazio che è il suo spazio, quindi ha scelto quello spazio, quel momento e quindi riusciamo a superare questa difficoltà che è sicuramente una di quelle più grandi. Poi a volte possono essere i tempi, infatti poi c'è tutto, diciamo, il processo che precede, che è quello del training di familiarizzazione con il cibo, dove a volte in base poi alla situazione, alla storia della persona o altro, stiamo più o meno tempo su alcune tecniche, però sicuramente una delle difficoltà maggiori che riscontra proprio il paziente è proprio quella cioè l'atto proprio del mangiare comunque con qualcun altro o di fronte a qualcun altro, motivo per cui insomma il pasto assistito non lo conduciamo in maniera meccanica ma accompagniamo letteralmente anche a distanza il paziente in quel senso, cioè facciamo letteralmente anche noi dall'altra parte il pasto con la persona, scegliendo la stessa cosa e quindi guidandola, accompagnandola nell'esperienza.
Okay, grazie Elisabetta. What Elisabetta said is that the greatest difficulty is sharing a meal with someone else. It is one of the main problems that patients with an eating disorder have. The fact is that when you are online, the person can choose by herself the place to do the meal. So feel more comfortable about this respect and in person when you go to the therapist, to the dietitian, and inside the room of the therapist or the dietitian, you do the meal. You can feel a kind of discomfort, no, to do this. When you are online, you are at your home, you choose maybe your room or your chicken, kitchen, sorry, not chicken, to do this assisted meal. Another difficult can be the time. So the time when you start to do assisted meal during or the recovery process. The fact is that before the assisted meal in Comestai, we do the training of familiarization with food. So the people, the dietitian, also the family work together to maybe work on fear food, work on how the people sit on the table, work on the time of the meal that is really important for people with an eating disorder. Another point is that the dietitian, so Elisabetta and all of the dietitian of Comestai eat together to the patient with the same food in the same time. So you feel more comfortable in that relationship and you don't feel the judgment of the dietitian that always there is no judgment during a recovery process, but a lot of people with an eating disorder can feel the judgment, the shame of that moment.
Thank you so much. It's so helpful.
Oh, thank you too.
Any
Okay.
questions, folks? Otherwise, I'm happy to go again.
Yeah, I think you can go with no problem.
Thanks, folks. So Valeria, I'm wondering if you're having the same experience as me and others that our patients are using ChatGPT, even though they're still seeing us. Like maybe between sessions, they're using like AI tools, and then they'll come to us and say, "Oh, I used ChatGPT and it said XYZ." I'm just wondering if you've had that experience and what you've done.
Vale, quello che ti ho chiesto Gemma è se hai avuto esperienze di pazienti che magari durante una seduta o l'altra hanno usato ChatGPT e sono tornati da te in studio dicendo ho chiesto la stessa cosa a ChatGPT e mi ha risposto
Sì.
questo. Valeria just said yes. Maybe she gave the answer in Italian and after I translate in English. So, Gemma ha chiesto una tua opinione su questo.
Sì, chiaramente è successo, infatti ho condiviso molto quello che ha detto prima Francesco. E, è successo e questo parla molto di ansie, di paure e anche del riuscire a gestire in maniera adeguata il tempo che passa tra una seduta e l'altra. Il tempo tra una seduta di un colloquio e l'altro e in realtà proprio il lavoro che poi la persona deve fare, no? E quindi molto spesso in quel tempo si cerca altro sostegno. E quindi molto spesso sì, è capitato che abbiano scritto e poi insieme appunto abbiamo guardato sia la domanda chiaramente che è stata fatta a ChatGPT e sia siamo andati poi a vedere un po' l'emozione che li ha portati a dover chiedere e a dover insomma tranquillizzare quel sintomo di ansia e poi siamo andati anche a guardare chiaramente la risposta che hanno ricevuto per guardare poi effettivamente la correlazione in base a tutta la storia. Quindi sì, capita molto spesso e insomma bisogna fare un po' i conti con questo e cercare di far capire che in realtà lo spazio che noi creiamo è uno spazio empatico, senza giudizio e che quindi la domanda che si può fare a ChatGPT si può fare tranquillamente durante la nostra ora e sentendosi sicuri della relazione terapeutica. Quindi questo è fondamentale. Grazie.
Grazie Valeria. So Gemma, what Valeria said is that happen also to her to see that a patient between a therapist ask to ChatGPT some question, and what she said is that this behavior said a lot about anxiety and fears that pass between session, between maybe 1 week to another, or in the time that you agree with your therapist. The fact is that the time that passes between one session to another is the time when a patient need to work on the behavior, on the topic that maybe you talk on the session and that you face together. So what she do is to talk also during the therapy about the question that maybe they ask to ChatGPT or to Gemini just to understand better what is the goal that they would like to have when they ask to this question to AI, and also maybe I think that could be really helpful to ask to the patient why they feel the stress, the need to ask that to ChatGPT. I think that it also happened because now we work in a society where we want to have all and now. We are not able to wait. We need to have that answer. We need to solve directly that problem. We have a lot of patients that ask, in 7 sessions, I can recover from an eating disorder. No, because it's not possible. The fact is that we have a lot of misinformation about eating disorders, and a lot of people think that in 7 sessions you can recover, or maybe you can recover, just talk to AI. This is not so true. The fact is that a lot of people think that this is so. We need to work an important educational work about this because I don't know if it was the New York Times or another journal that talked about a young boy that killed, I think, himself after talk with ChatGPT. I don't know better the question, so I don't want to say something wrong, but also the data that before said Francesco, we need an urgent tool to work on mental health of our people.
Thank you so much. And that's such wise advice from you both. And I think, Valeria, like being curious about why ChatGPT was used, I do exactly the same. I'm always interested to hear what people have been chatting about between sessions. And as you said, Aurora, like that kind of quick fix that AI presents. And as Francesco was saying, like, just keeping us on. I think therapy is ultimately challenging. And if you have a version of therapy that is like nice and easy, it can be difficult for us to sort of keep that more challenging type of therapy going.
I think what is really important for people to understand that the human relationship between you and your therapist cannot be replaced by a chatbot. That can be helpful for people that maybe need help on 3 a.m. night. They are not able to maybe send a message to the therapist because I hope that he or she is sleeping. But human therapy is another kind of work. And this is important to talk about this. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely agree, Aurora. Like, I think, we have evolved as humans over millions of years, and AI is much more of a recent tool, and we're still fundamentally hardwired to connect with other humans
Yeah,
than a simulation. And I think we sort of rely on that in treatment, don't we? That human connection is still preferred.
yeah. And I think that just to close, now we are really huge of technology. And I see also by myself that I need human touch. Also, a moment like this. So to have other people in front of you that you can see all over the world, but just to stay together and to change the narrative, because we are always are on our social media or a chatbot. So I think that we need and we will feel the need of moments like these in the next years because we are human beings and this is the truth.
Agreed.
Super. I think that we are okay. Thanks for everyone to join us. Thanks for Gemma to join us in the early morning in Australia and to have organized this moment with Comestai and Animenta and also Corey for all the work that is trying to do in eating disorder in an international perspective. And really happy to be your Italian partner to do this. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Aurora, and thank you for all your fantastic translating. I feel like I have learnt a lot more Italian today from you all, so thank you on behalf of Corey D and for everyone for sticking with us. And you will be receiving the recording in due course if you want to watch things again or if you weren't able to join us live.
Thank you. Thank you so much also to the team of Comestai, Valeria and Elisabetta, and also Francesco Marino to be with us. Thanks a lot also to everyone. And good morning to Gemma and good evening, good dinner for the Italian people that are here this evening. Thanks a lot.